some people are getting to sit and get settled in, I want to one more time thank the Built Worlds and all the people involved with the organization. This is great, great gathering. Thank you greatly. Yeah. And by now you should know, the three of us practiced like last 3 nights, all nights long, you know. They put the guy with an accent at the end, so you can struggle with my lower Alabama, LA accent. My name is Goran Zeravica. I work for Komatsu America. I'm privileged and honored to be here. Thank you greatly for your time. We're going to talk about the big data, both of which this fine gentleman mentioned already. And you know, because all 3 of us have customers, I put one of our customers, Waste Management, quote from a recent article on in Engineering News Record, where basically he says, I need this data, you know, quadrillions bytes of data to come in so I can schedule maintenance, retrain operators, plan my job sites, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Much of what you already heard. And with that, we're going to start by tying in to the only slide on Komatsu's autonomous haulage system. We're very proud of over 500 million tons moved in the back of this truck. And we will focus today on this money maker that's in the back of the truck. Because if that cannot get, once it's taken from Earth, if that cannot make it to where it needs to go, the core, you know, our customers are not making money. And we have in three continents the sites tying into some of the things that these gentlemen said. There's a control center, monitoring, so human intervention does help. But we're so proud of this system. We put a can of Coke like 1 inch away from the tire. The truck does the whole cycle of dropping off the load, comes back and parks exactly on the inch next to the can of Coke. So in the next few minutes, I would like an opportunity to challenge you. So when you leave from here, you pick up each and everyone's little story, but maybe you think about your customer, your vendors and partners, etc. I'm not going to bother you with Internet of the Things. By now, all of us have heard about this. But this racket is going to have its email or web address that's going to communicate how effectively is the tennis player from Eastern Europe. No, I'm joking. But you know, playing tennis, and through the app, you, our customer, can work on enhancing your productivity or your aces and stuff. So that's what the big data is all about. That's the only point I would say to supplement what David said when he said pinpoint. I think you used the word pinpoint some of the things that you can benefit from. All right, so for those of you who are not aware of what our machines do, Komatsu builds machines that move soil, you know. I'm going to cover what's a cycle in a mine. The truck unloads the soil, travels empty, gets loaded by the shovel, travels back to the location and unloads the soil. And we measure that through our, what we believe is unrivaled telematics system in our little industry, mining and construction. So if you keep that in mind, I'm just going to say it. What we're going to cover today. We're going to cover that get pinpointed little benefits to your customer, whatever your customer does, whatever makes or breaks his day, and simplify those things, the things in red, to make his life and his productivity and save money, like you said, efficiencies, so his day is a success. If he's successful, we all and the vendors will be successful. For example, with our trucks, empty traveling time is greater than loaded travel time. That's a big alert. He needs to know. Or what if the trucks are not being filled to the maximum of their capability in the bed behind the truck? Someone needs to know. Or opportunities to retrain the operator because he's idling too much. In our industry, idling is no good for our customers. Simplify the big data to this pinpointed points and you won the game. So what is your version of this? Take a moment, think, reflect. Whatever is your version of this, a tennis racket, the drone, whatever. Just how you gonna get these pinpoint points to your customer. So now we're going to switch gears, have some fun with exact slides from a workshop of mine superintendents. Now I know all of you are not mine superintendents, but let's have some fun. This is a Load Brothers company. I'm not going to bore you with details, but they have 9 pits, mining pits. And sometimes they produce 1,400 wheelbarrows per day, sometimes only 400. Here it is in a graph, 400 days, 1,400 days. Their goal is 900 wheelbarrows a day. Why am I going to bother you, y'all, Alabama accent, y'all, with this? So we place ourselves in the shoes of your customer. And we understand the goal is that our customer doesn't get overwhelmed with all this big data from a flight you mentioned, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So this is all over the place. These 9 mine sites, their production per day is all over the place. Putting it in a linear trend, this workshop of superintendents found out that this is nowhere near the 900 barrels a day goal. And they even identified Justin, the great guy, who is producing 102 payloads per day, and James, the not so good operator, at 76 payloads a day. Do you need more additional information, Mr. Customer? By golly, I do. So they look at how thirsty are these machines, and they even figured out what would be the optimal fuel efficiency. Just for fun, we say 1 gallon per hour, even though these mining trucks burn much more. And James, the bad guy, is right on the optimal level of fuel burn, and Justin, the good guy, is very close to it. So that's an eye-opener. See, the slicing and leveraging the big data exposes some stuff that we weren't aware of. I'm absolutely not going to bother you with oil changes and how expensive are these humongous electric trucks tires. Trust me, they're more expensive than the mortgage on my house. But average tire pressure is important. Changing oil and other repairs and maintenance, PM, preventative maintenance, how optimally are they performed? Guess what? The James, the bad guy, more optimally than Justin, what we thought previously was the champion. So it's letting us see, exposing more and more stuff. So this workshop that I just shared the slides of bunch of mine-sized superintendents came back to this fictional company, your fictional customer, and said, you know what you need to do? We're going to advise you. You're going to do a better job with preventative maintenance. Keep tire pressure optimized because we noticed some irregularities. This is an expensive piece of equipment you're operating. And reassign wheelbarrows. Maybe let Justin drive somebody else's vehicles. Move the drivers around. Oh, great. We got them back on track. They're going to start making more money. We all won. If our customer wins, we all. But what's the elephant in the room? We are not even scratched the surface of explaining the daily variances. So there is more opportunity out there. Maybe some of you are consultants with what he finished with, information partnerships. So no more about wheelbarrows. Let's focus on what Komatsu makes, these huge pieces of equipment. So today I'm honored to share, I didn't want to bother you with history, although I'm very proud of Komatsu, huge history, but I want to share with you that we gathered 9 mining sites across North America, and we analyzed for that kind of a workshop I just mentioned 100,000 lines of data. I know it's not like in the airplane industry, but in our little market, that's our sand box. So all these mine sites have daily production just like the fictional company before, all over the place. So let's see how we can help them. Again, I'm not going to bother you with 100,000 lines, but I want to zoom in right here. This mining truck should not be stopped idling when the stuff is in the bed, in the back of the truck. He should take it to where he has to unload it. Finding out that 5% or more of the time on a given day, 5% of engine on times, he's sitting there idling, maybe listening to the baseball game on the radio or something, or, exposes some of the angles that the workshop I just showed you, students did not even scratch the surface on or even touch. This monthly data exposed 2.6% of loaded truck being stopped. The goal is to be at 1% from the 9 job sites we talked to in this previous slide. So this is almost, triple. So I'm going to bring us back to the study of Load Brothers, the fictional company. After all, they're not so bad. We saw how even the bad driver was okay with fuel consumption and stuff like that. It's important to measure individuals' contributions, whether they're pilots, whether they're whatever your customer is. Focus on the individual centers of data as well. Analyze the data and focus to help your customer or help yourselves improve the operation. But always be open-minded to more and more improvements, like both of these gentlemen said. Look forward, look to the future. So how do we see it in our little mining equipment world? Well, we see it going from monthly, day-by-day analysis to a single-day analysis, and then slicing even more, looking to pinpoint the things that David said. Maybe you want to look at the machine data, or operating environment, temperatures, like in Canada, or North Pole, or human conditions, including the shift, which our telematic systems and y'all's measures. So it's bigger data, but it's still not the big data like in the airplane you mentioned. So we're very excited that our Comtrax Plus, our Komatsu telematic system for mining equipment, is going to increase the data arrival to our servers by factor of 72,000. With that, every second we can know about every piston in that engine, what's happening, and analyze it for health issues of the engine. Why am I bothering you with these 70,000 new pieces of data and more frequency of getting samples? Well, because it is important from what we learned by listening and getting closer to our customers, our mining managers. It is important to understand how inputs affect the outcome. I can't say enough when he said pinpoint what he needs to know or what is going to benefit his operation. So it brings us back to the very first point I said. If empty stop time is higher than that mine site's no idle policy, you can't idle more than this many minutes, it's a trigger or alert for coaching. So because I'm standing between here and more beer for y'all, I'm just going to summarize it. I'm just going to summarize it with this. Focusing on simple data strategies, no matter how complex the bunch of data, the big data is the way to go. Don't be intimidated. Just do a research. Here's the Harvard Business Review explanation or how you can simplify your strategy. And I will close with new product introduction, because some of you may be sitting in the chair and thinking, man, next month this time I won't be at the next show because I'll be introducing my new product to the marketplace. How do I avoid hiccups using the big data that all three of us hopefully covered for you? So in our industry, it's all about complying with EPA, government, somebody mentioned government, and emissions. So we were at the beginning of introducing Tier 4 interim machines. Those are the lower emissions, cleaner exhaust products, machines, excavators, bulldozers. And using telematics, Komatsu system, we noticed in November that some of our Canada machines experienced high blow by pressure. Don't worry if you're not mechanical engineer. Just some fault codes and abnormalities on the engine were happening. This big data, one-time big data analysis, allowed us to act quicker than before the telematics and big data even existed. Through factory campaigns, we prepped the United States machines with a small preparation and corrected what needed to be corrected on the factory floor. By the time the cold weather moved into United States, the problem that was caught by telematics in Canada was resolved permanently. So it was a one-time fix, but as you're sitting in the audience thinking like, man, I will be introducing a new product next month, how valuable is that first taste in the mouth of the customer that's going to drive your machine for the first time? So that improved that feeling of the customer. With that, I thank you greatly. I think we're going to open up for questions, but a lot of your bosses and managers never ask your junior guy like me, a foreigner, hey, take a look at this, because that's not a data strategy. Keep your data strategy pinpointed at how to benefit your customer. With that, thank you greatly.
Nice job.